So it's been about a week now since I've turned in my 60 to have it repaired by Canon, and hopefully I will have results back very, very soon. In the meantime, the camera that I'm using right now to post this video is a camera I just recently purchased, and that is the 60 Mark II. Now, I know there's a lot of folks out there that have some very negative feelings about this camera. They say it's one of the most underwhelming cameras of 2018. They say it's one of the worst cameras of 2018. It has no dynamic range. The ISO is terrible. It has no 4K. Blah, 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 blah. To be perfectly honest with you, I do talking head videos. I'm not out there jet setting and doing all sorts of fancy stuff. I'm not doing the slow motion. I'm not doing all that really smooth, high stylized stuff. And to be perfectly honest with you, before somebody pestered me into like making my videos much more consistent, I was using my Galaxy S4, I was using my Galaxy S7, I was using my T3i. I actually did one video with my 60, and none of them have 4K as far as I'm aware. If you go on YouTube right now or Vimeo or some of these other video sharing sites or video viewing sites, you're going to find that there's people out there that still using 1080p. There's people out there doing 720p. All right. And yet they'll have followers. So when somebody tells me that, this camera is garbage and all this other stuff, I'm going to give my advice to some of you people out there that might be on the fence as to whether or not you should buy this camera, and just simply say to you, first off, don't listen to the people who sit behind the desk or who have never had this camera in their hands and listen to their opinions, because their opinions are useless. All right. I can sit in front of a desk and read you specs for almost anything, but if I haven't used it, it's just specs. And you can go online to a blog and read specs. You can go to a store and read specs. You can go to a catalog or the company's manufacturing and read specs. Okay. With all that said, I'm going to give you a couple of reasons that you should consider buying the camera. First off, this camera is now available around $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. You heard right, $1,300, $1,400, $1,500. Now, we're not talking about brand new, we're talking about refurbed or used. Now, before you go like this, all right, just hear me out. Refurb is not as bad as a lot of people say it is. Basically, what happens is this, and you've probably done it yourself. You purchase an item, you got it at home, you have it sitting on your table, you've played around with it, you've done all sorts of things with it, and you kind of realize, okay, this is not for you, and you decide to return it. No harm, no foul. Companies are happy to take back your returns, but they can't sell it as brand new. So what they do is when it comes back to them, they inspect it, they clean it. If there's little small parts that they need to replace, they replace them. They repackage it, and then they send it back out into the wild. But because it's not brand new anymore, because somebody's touched it, they cannot sell it as brand new. So they sell it as refurbished. Hence the price drop. This camera cost me $13.99. No rebates, no nothing. Just $13.99. Plus shipping and tax, it came to like about 15 and change. Would I pay $2,000 for this camera just for the body? Absolutely not. I would not. It's not worth it. $1,500? Yeah, I can see that. Another thing that you should consider, and probably for me, this is like one of the deal makers, was the flippy folding screen. The T3i has the flippy folding screen. The 60 has full frame. They put the two things I like the most about each camera onto one body. This is a big deal for me. There have been times when I've had to do headshots or portraits of people, and because they're so tall, they want to stand up, I got to stand on a ladder. Imagine how much cooler it is when you can just have the camera just up there. You can flow the screen down, touch on the screen. The person that's watching you go through all this gesticulation is either going to have one or two reactions. They're either going to have this reaction like, what's wrong with this kid? Or they're probably going to giggle to themselves like, this is so cute. This guy is so short. He has to reach up and touch the flippy folding screen. If you catch somebody looking good, laughing at your pain, that's money right there. And this is something that a photographer, I think, will appreciate. So you have the flippy folding screen. You have full frame. You have a camera that you can get at $1,500 thereabouts. It's lightweight. Now, granted, the flash sync is not good. It's like 180. That has been a sore point for me. That's something I would have said was almost a deal breaker, except for the fact that, you know what? I know how to take pictures Not being able to shoot at 1/8,000 of a second. That is also a big deal for a lot of people. It's not a big deal for me because, once again, I'm shooting portraits, I'm shooting headshots, I'm shooting flowers. It would be nice to have, but it's not a deal breaker. My photography allows me the luxury of being able to have a camera like this and still get results I need to get paid. Now, if you're somebody like me that wants to get paid, you can go with something like this or you can go with something better. But don't listen to the naysayers who don't have any experience. If you're going to listen to anybody, listen to somebody who's actually used the camera. And trust me, there's a multitude of people on the market on the internet who have really unpleasant things to say about this. Me, I'm still muddling through it. I'm not as techno geeky as a lot of these other people. I'm looking for something that's going to do what I need to do, take pictures, give me decent video, and allow me to push my content and allow me to make money. And if this camera can do that for me, I have no reason why I would dismiss it as something that you should not buy. Are there things about it that, would be deal breakers for a lot of people? They are, because those are different kind of people and they have different kinds of needs and qualifications. So that's something else that you got to factor in your decision making. As much as people would say that this is a terrible camera because the expectations were so high, trust me when I say that there are other cameras on the market that don't hit the mark on the same level as this. So those are just things just to keep in mind. I've said enough, guys. Thanks again for watching. Once again, I will be back with some more stuff very, very soon. I appreciate you taking the time to visit me. Subscribe. Tell your friends. The more the merrier. Thanks again for watching. And come check me out later for some more stuff.